Okay, so today we are looking at number system, and of course, under the number system, you have to know what natural number is, whole number, integers, rational number, and of course, irrational number. So natural number are those, they have definite beginning but no end. So for example, when you have a number 2, 4, 98, 147, combining plenty numbers together. But a lot of people always make mistake of making sure, talking about the fact that these two are the same. However, the difference was made in 60 AD, where it is now separated that numbers, when you add zeros to natural number, it becomes a whole number. So like 10, 20, 30, 40, 400, 5,000, 7,000, they are all whole numbers. Once you add zero to a natural number. So the integers, of course, are whole numbers that do not have any form of fraction. Minus 5, 10, 20, 50, 25, 75. So the rational number are two integers that are expressed in fraction, either positive or negative. Like 2 is an integer, 4 is an integer. But because it's expressed as a fraction, so it will either be negative or positive fraction. The rational number are numbers that do not have exact value. Square root of 2, square root of 7. By the time you press it in your calculator, you'll be having 1 point something something. It does not have exact value. Okay, so the next thing we want to look at is a complex number. Complex number. Now, under this complex number, we are going to be looking at simplification, we are going to be looking at algebra of complex number. In the algebra of complex number, we are going to be looking at addition, subtraction, multiplication, and then division of complex number. Then after the algebra, we are also going to be considering the modulus of complex number. Then after that, we are going to be looking at the Argand diagram. And then after that, we are going to be looking at polar form and exponential form of complex number. So, and those are the stuff we are going to be considering in complex number. Simplification, algebra, under the algebra, addition of complex number, subtraction of complex number, multiplication, division, modulus, Argand diagram, the polar form, and exponential form of complex number. Now, when you are talking about complex number, now when you have square root of a negative number, like square root of -1, if you press this in calculator, you cannot have an answer. It will give you math error. So anytime you have square root of -1, that's what you call a complex number. So you can represent it by I. So I is always representing square root of -1. So square root of a negative number is always a complex number. You can't solve it normal mathematical way. So now, when we are now talking about simplification, for example, if we are given I squared, and we are asked to simplify I squared. Now you know I is square root of minus 1. You know when you say I squared means I times I. And then I is square root of minus 1 times square root of minus 1. Because square root of minus 1 is I. So here now by the time we multiply this, square root of minus 1 times square root of minus 1, the answer is minus 1. Why? Because in the law of sum, if I'm multiplying a number under a square root, it gives me that number. So root A times root A will be A. So meaning that if I have root 2 times root 2, the answer is 2. Whatever you have under the root, as long as they are the same letter or number, it will be that answer without the root. So if I have square root of minus 1 times square root of minus 1, the answer is what? Minus 1. So you must know at every given point that your I squared is always what? Minus 1. Don't forget. Your I squared is always what? Minus 1. Minus what? Minus 1. So having said that, you can now say you should simplify I raised to power 5. Look at this. Simplify I raised to power 5. Now another thing I have to quickly explain before I do this is, let's assume that you have I cube and you want to simplify. I cube means I times I times I. So and you already know that I times I, which is I squared, is minus 1. So this one cannot be minus 1 times I, because these two will give me minus 1. So minus 1 times I will give me what? Minus I. Minus 1 times I will give me minus I. So that is to tell you that at every given point, your I cube is always minus I. That's another important key that you need to know. Your I square is minus 1. Your I cube is minus I. Are you with me? So if you have simplify the following. Simplify. 1, let's say I5, 2, I8. So a simple way of doing this is to say I5 is the same thing as I squared times I cube. You agree? So we got 2 plus 3 is 5. Then I know that my I squared is minus 1 times I know that my I cube is minus I. So minus times minus plus 1 times I. What's that? I. So your I5 is I. Now I8, which is the second one, you can say I squared into bracket 4. That's like saying 2 times 4 will give me 8. So what's I squared? Minus 1, Ali. Minus 1 raised to power 4. The answer will be what? 1. Do you get that? So that's how to simplify. Okay, copy that. Okay, so now we are looking at algebra of complex number. Let's take for example, if I have 2 plus 4i, we have something like this. So these two, we call it real number, and this number with I, we call it imaginary number. So in a complex number, the number that is without the I is the real number, and then the number with the I is the imaginary number. So it's like saying when I have A plus BI, then my A is real number and B is imaginary number. Don't forget. So now, if you are given, let's say you are given C1 to be 4 plus 2i, and then C2 to be 3 plus 4i. You now say find 1 C1 plus C2, C1 minus C2, C1 C2, C1 over C2. Look at this. Here now it's like saying add complex number, subtract the complex number, multiply the complex number, and then what? Divide the complex number. So if we want to add, we are going to say number 1, C1 plus C2 is 4 plus 2i plus 3 plus 4i. That is what I'm given. 4 plus 2i plus 3 plus 4i. So this is very direct. 4 plus 3 is 7. 2i plus 4i is 6i. And that's the answer. So I clear with that? Very straightforward. The ones that are real number, add them together. The ones that are complex number, add them together. Then number 2, Z1 minus Z2 means that I'm going to subtract. So 4 plus 2i minus 3 plus 4i. Now why do I need to put bracket at this time? Because this minus will affect the two numbers. So by the time I open it up, I'm going to have 4 plus 2i. Minus times 3 is minus 3. Minus times plus is minus 4i. See that? So from here I can now say 4 minus 3. 4 minus 3 is 1. Plus 2 minus 4 is minus 2i. You can use your calculator for that. Plus 2 minus 4 will give you minus 2. Okay, number 3, which is Z1, Z2. Z1, Z2 means I want to multiply. So 4 plus 2i into bracket 3 plus 4i. Bracket means times. So I want to times this. So this will now be 4 times 3, 12. 4 times 4i, 16i. 2i times 3, 6i. 2i times 4i, that's 8i squared. Because 2 times 4 is 8. I times I is I squared. You see that? So this will now be 12 plus 16i plus 6i. That will give me 22i plus 8 into bracket. Don't forget that I square means minus 1 from our simplification. Remember, so this will now be 12 plus 22i plus 8 times 1 minus 8. So 12 minus 8, what's that? 4 plus what? 22i. That's the final answer. You see that? And then the last one but not the least, which is division. Let's do that at this side. Now I'm going to have 4 z1 over z2. It means I want to divide 4 plus 2i over 3 plus 4i. So if I want to do this, I will multiply both the numerator and the denominator with the conjugate. The conjugate of this is 3 minus 4i over 3 minus 4i. Conjugate means the opposite of what is here. If what I have here is 3 minus 4i, the conjugate will be 3 plus 4i. I will use it to multiply up and down. If what I have here is 5 plus 10i, it will now become 5 minus 10i, up and down. So here now I can now multiply. So I'm going to have 4 times 3, that is 12. 4 times minus 4, minus 16i. Then 2i times 3 plus 6i. Then 2i times minus 4i, that's minus 8i squared over, are you following? 3 times 3 is what? 9. 3 times minus 4i, minus 12i. 4i times 3i times 3, 12i. Then plus 4i times minus 4i, minus 16i squared. See that? So here, now 12 minus 16 plus 6 is minus 10i. Then minus 8 into I squared is minus 1 over 9 minus 12i will cancel out plus 12i. So I'll be left with 9 minus 16 into bracket minus 1. Why? Because I squared is minus 1. So here I'm going to have 12 minus 10i minus 8 times minus 1 is plus 8 over 9 minus 16 times minus 1 is plus 16. So this will now be 12 plus 8, 20 minus 10i over 9 plus 16 is what? 25. Are you with me? So here now you can now say 20 to 25 minus 10i to 25. You give the 25 to 2 of them. So here I can say 4 can go to 2 or 5. That's 4 over 5 minus 5 can also go into 2. 2i over what? 5. So this is the final answer.